You guys love it. I didn't have time to edit it. So you gotta do it. That beautiful intro.
The real editing that needs to be done is just your face disappearing. That edit would make it so much better.
It fades. I mean,
if you can figure out how to blur your face, we'd be fine with it.
Perfect.
I don't like you guys. Well, what's going on, everybody? It is Monday morning. Stevie and I are recovering from Boston. We just got back from there, a weekend in Fall River doing the Champions Summit. I gotta say, man, I was impressed by Fall Rivers. That was a town that I was not expecting.
Yeah, that whole area was gorgeous, and the food was good, and the people were nice. It was awesome. And those battleships, right? Battleships were cool.
Insane. I mean, I can't. It wasn't what I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting Fall River to be this mill town, which once upon a time, that's all it was a bunch of mills, factories, and the likes. But they've revitalized the area, and a lot of the mills now are apartments and condos, and there's a lot more of your artistry. It's got almost an Austin vibe to it, but still small town feel. It was really, 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 really cool. And people are still blown away. I still think, excluding the night of the Celtics game, I almost said Celtics, the Celtics game, the traffic was not that bad, and the people were some of the nicest fucking drivers I've ever been around.
Yeah.
I'm still blown away. Mind. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, people like slowed down so I could change lanes. I mean,
and spend a little bit of time there.
It's got a blue moon.
Yeah, so like in that Boston area, if you're in Boston, maybe because you're in the northern.
No, this is coming from driving. I keep telling you, we drove from Logan, downtown Boston, to 2 hours south down to wherever the hell the beach was, South Shore.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy because Massachusetts is one of the few states that during rush hour they let you drive on the shoulder. It becomes a lane. And when I was there, I would drive from Plymouth all the way up to Boston to the office, and we were quite surprised by that. Yeah, see, look, Kim knows, right? The drivers in
Donnie,
Boston are assholes.
It was just for us.
I don't know. I mean, now I will tell you, the night of the Celtics game, because we had gone out to dinner late, we could only get like an 8:45 reservation at the Union Hall Oyster House, which by the way was way not worth the fucking money. That place was so overhyped. The clam chowder was fucking disgusting. It tasted like potato soup. Now Elizabeth's meal was great, but Union Hall Oyster House, this is the world's oldest fucking whatever running ever, was not worth the $200 we spent on.
Well, maybe they haven't cleaned anything since they opened.
Yeah, quite likely.
No seasoning.
They made a hell of a martini, which was good. But man, we left there the night of. We didn't know the Celtics game that just left out. Waze could not even keep up, and it kept. Dude, I took the entire tour of Boston. We ended up in tunnels I didn't know existed.
Big baby.
Dude, and it gets chaotic anytime a game lets out of any sport, but that was fucking madness. I absolutely would not have recommended that place. Well, everybody else did, Kim. Where were you?
Yeah.
Well, and then, we ate at the worst restaurant I've ever had, which there was a pub right on Essex Street, and it looked like a cool place, man. There was a line to get in, corned beef written on letters all on the sign to get in, and Elizabeth's like, hey, I want corned beef. I'm like, oh, screw it. We'll wait in line. We get in. They don't even have corned beef like a sandwich on the menu. It was corned beef fucking egg rolls. And I got the fish and chips. And I thought the fish and chips, we're in Boston. It's going to be over the top. Fuck no. It was freaking disgusting. Some of the worst fish and chips, no flavor. The coleslaw tasted like wet, freaking cabbage. And Elizabeth went ahead and got the freaking egg rolls. Keith, your camera turned off. Elizabeth got the egg rolls. How does roast beef not have flavor? Like none. And it was horrible. And then we walked out of there and found Faneuil Hall Marketplace. Now that place was fucking amazing. It was like food vendor trucks, seafood galore, but we were already full on this horrible freaking, pub that we had. So, but all in all, what a cool place, cool city. I'm glad to be home.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So
I also love how, I think we take it for granted, right? Like when we're in Texas, we can drive for a whole long time and still be in Texas.
Yeah.
But like we in that trip were Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island all at the same time.
Yeah. It was crazy. Just crazy. So, well, our guest today is a very, very cool person. This person shows up at almost every event training we do.
Wait, just because you say it's a cool person doesn't mean it's a cool person.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
We get to reserve judgment.
No, I think by all standards. By all standards. This is one of those people that just shows up. I mean, everywhere, and is a super champion. I would say they really invest in the network and put a lot of time and energy. I had the privilege of walking all Fall River with this individual the day of the event in freaking Fall River. So let's bring on.
Do we have a mass hole on here?
We do. What's up, buddy?
Cheers, everybody. Good morning.
Giant mass hole.
Long time no see.
I know. I feel like we're brothers and sisters of another mother.
Well, truth be told,
I actually figured out how to say his name.
I reached out to say, "Hey, can you yesterday?" So
yeah, he wasn't your first choice.
I think I finally figured out how to say his last name too. I used to call him Joe Alphabet.
I call him Joe Marzipan. So I mean,
Marzipan. Yeah, I think is it Marchizin?
It's Marcizin, and it'd be Marchizin if it was like in Poland. So Marcizin is like the Americanized version of it.
Nice.
Of course it is.
You have two mass holes in here. And I never heard of mass hole until I went to Boston. That was the first time I heard it.
The thing it comes from the drivers. So I was so shocked to hear you say they were nice drivers because they're not. The second thing it comes from is the bartenders. So if you go into any bar, they'll turn around and go, "What do you want?"
Dude, we didn't experience any of that. Like none of it.
You didn't get to experience Boston then. That's too bad.
Dude, we sat in a couple of pubs. We sat in a couple of just regular bars, not even pubs. And other than the hostess at the freaking pub, she's like, "How many you got?" We said 2. She just turned around and walked. I'm like, "Oh, I guess we follow her."
That's a asshole.
Right. So, but it was a cool experience. So let's have some fun.
Wait, I didn't prepare for a quiz show. What's going on?
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I got it. So we are fixing to play a category trivia game, and this might look a little bit familiar. So the rules all work. You're going to have to keep your own point score. So in the audience, y'all are going to have to help me keep score in this. But the 4 of you are all playing. I know it's traditionally 3, but we're going to have ladies go first to pick the category, and the questions.
That's you, Bernie.
Oh, I thought it was damn.
So those are your categories. It was funny as we were taking a break. It's sitting in Boston, and I'm like, "What are we gonna do for Monday?" And I sat and built this whole fucking thing out. So and it fully worked. So get rid of it. So Stevie, pick a category and a money value. Where are we starting?
Classic cartoons for 200.
Classic cartoons for 200.
Is it classic for you old fogies, or is it classic for some?
This sailor man is known for eating string.
Who's Popeye?
I heard Keith first. Who is Popeye? Keith, pick a category.
Let's go with movie quotes for 600.
Movie quotes for 600. Here's looking at you, kid, is a famous line from this classic romance.
What is Casablanca?
Casablanca.
I heard it first from Keith. Casablanca sitting at 800.
You guys are just gonna get smoked. Let's go movie quotes. Okay. Let's go movie quotes for 400.
You can't handle the truth. Oh, I'm supposed to take the music out. Oh well. You can't handle the truth of the line.
A Few Good Men.
There it is.
There you go.
I can put Bernie on the board for 400. Dun, 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 dun. Bernie, pick one.
Oh, let's go traditional desserts for 400, please, Alex.
This French dessert is a caramel top custard often served in individual ramekins.
What is creme brulee?
Oh, I'll give it to Stevie with the creme brulee.
Took me a second.
For 400.
I did not have coffee this morning.
So, Stevie, pick a number and category.
Oh, traditional desserts for 600.
This traditional Middle Eastern dish is made with phyllo pastry, nuts, and honey.
What is Honey Nut Cheerios?
That would not be the correct answer. Anyone?
Does that subtract from his?
Yes.
Can we take away his?
Can we mute the guest? What's going on?
Any guesses?
I got nothing.
What is baklava?
Baklava.
It's
nice. So, Stevie, your guess again.
Okay. Well, let's finish it off. Traditional desserts, 200.
This easy Italian dessert consists of coffee-soaked ladyfingers layered with a mascarpone cheese mixture.
What is a
What is that cake with the funny little layers?
Tiramisu, everybody.
And the answer is tiramisu. Wow, Stevie, your category again.
Oh gosh, I just don't even know what this says behind here. Movie quotes for 200.
Look, they're all jumping in. I love it.
They got this. They're way
Movie
ahead.
quotes for 200. Come on. I'll be back as a line.
Terminator.
There it is. Bernie out the gate swinging. Oh, Bernie up there was 200. Oh, Bernie, you're up.
Let's go famous lyrics, 200.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world is from this song.
Donnie's wife on her honeymoon.
I thought the song was about Joe.
Isn't it Don't Stop Believing?
No, this is a.
What is
Journey.
Don't Stop Believing by Journey?
Hey, my karaoke-ness came into play.
Right, Stevie, I've been keeping track. You're up to $400. Good job.
Stevie, your pick.
Famous lyrics for 400.
Hello, darkness, my old friend starts this classic tune.
Little Simon and Garfunkel.
Yep. What's the name of the song?
Bridge Over Troubled Water.
The Sound of Silence.
Yes.
Sound of Silence.
You were close.
Which, by the way, the best rendition of this ever was by Disturbed.
Disturbed was the best rendition.
Google Sound of Silence by Disturbed.
That was amazing.
It's amazing.
Oh, whoever picked that one, pick another one.
Famous lyrics, 600.
There it is. Leslie Oliver got it. Look at this. Boom. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
CeeLo.
Huh?
CeeLo.
I had no idea who this person was, but I had to find a song that was harder, and I have no idea who CeeLo is, but give that to Joe on the board.
God dang. How the hell would you know that?
I used to want to sing, and I always wanted to be taller.
Joe, pick a category.
Let's see. Cartoon classics for 600, please.
In 1940, animated cartoon was Disney's first full-length.
What is Steamboat Mickey?
No.
What is Snow White?
It is. Give it up for Snow White.
Oh, full-length masterpiece.
Yeah, that's the thing that got me for sure. It's a Fall River thing. Look at Joe on the board. Joe freaking in the lead. Joe, pick one.
Let's do classic cartoons for 400. Staying in my wheelhouse.
This cartoon features a cat and mouse duo often involved in comedic
Tom and Jerry.
I heard Joe first. You know, there's supposed to be like these whole buzzer things, but I like just picking my favorites. So
that's fair. Sounds
Joe,
right.
pick a category.
Let's try famous entrepreneurs for 200, please.
Co-founder of Microsoft.
Who is Bill Gates?
Ooh, give it to Keith. 200. Keith, pick a category.
Stay there for 400.
CEO of SpaceX and Tesla.
Who's Elon Musk?
Oh, give it to Bernie.
Pretty sure I'm winning.
Uh-oh. There it goes. That's if I click the right button. Bernie, pick a category.
Finish out the category. 600, please.
Founder of Alibaba.
Oh.
Who is Ali Mama?
I think it's Yo Mama.
Oh, y'all don't know this one? I put this one in here. I knew it was a little hard. It's Jack Ma.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah. Have you guys met Jack Pa? I'm glad you put the marketing milestones category in here since nobody picked it.
Well, it sounds like it doesn't sound fun. It sounds hard.
And to answer Mike McQuillan, yes, we're playing with real money. It's yours.
Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
And Coca-Cola is for 200. For 400, just do it as a slogan associated
with Nike.
I don't know who said it first. And then the final one is this campaign aimed at increasing diamond sales, coined the phrase.
The Bears.
Wow, Keith got it. And I'm the winner. Good job, guys. I won the whole damn thing.
Oh. Okay, but in all fairness, that was one of your better games.
Right? That one actually turned out all right.
How much money am I going home with? What's going on here?
So Joe, I got you down for 1,800. I got Keith for 1,200, Bernie for 600. Keith. I win. That's what happened. I win. Oh Lord! Hey, we got through that all right.
My participation trophy.
So, Joe, welcome to the show, kid. This is our chance to interview. Make fun of you. a little bit about your story.
I think we already did all of that. So
no, we're not even started yet.
I'm feeling very welcomed. So thank you.
I got to tell you, that's going to become a tradition, though, at the Champion Summits of going and doing a morning walk with one of the champions. Dude. Joe literally took me around all of Fall River and gave me kind of behind-the-scenes tour of all the sites, the buildings, the factories. We walked down by the pier, the battleships. If you haven't seen the picture I took of the battleship and the bridge that morning, it was freaking really cool. But we did 5 hours and about an hour and a half walking the city. And so seriously, dude, thanks for that. It was a really, really cool experience. So, Joe,
I gotta ask you a quick question.
Just fine until dinner the night before when he had that moment where he called you that thing. and Joe really dropped down the list for me at that point.
Joe called me the Messiah.
No. Hold on. I called you the SEM Messiah. That was different, very different. Didn't want to offend anybody out there, but I was planning on wearing my moccasins and going for a walk.
And they talked about washing feet. Oh, it was too much. And that's how I met Joe. That was the first thing I remember.
Oh my God.
We got to sit across from Joe and his wife for dinner that first night, and she's a trip, man. She was a lot of fun to meet. Joe's wife is one of those crazy people that will jump out of a car to go clip a cool plant on the side of the road because she does all the herbology stuff and everything. And she had some crazy stories. She was a lot of fun to get to know. So
she's a witch.
Cool. Well, I literally said, I'm looking forward to going to Salem because I get to meet a witch. And her words were, you don't have to look far.
Accurate, Jennifer.
So, Joe, who the hell are you? Tell everybody just 2 seconds about you, who you are, what you do.
Gosh, I'm a masshole. I'm in the financial services industry, and I'm a success champion. It's those three things. We'll stay with that for now.
I love it. And Joe spoke at the Champion Summit, and I will say the content of his speech was freaking amazing. That dude hit home. He even burned a little sage, which was weird, and then there was something to do with a rock we had to throw away and stuff. He actually did a really amazing job. It was a lot of fun to learn from him and the content out there. Where's all that come from for you, Joe? The burning of the sage, cleaning the room, which, by the way, the room smelled like sage for like the next 3 hours. And tell him about the idea of the rock. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. So, gosh, there was a lot to unpack there. For me, I think the idea of being on stages and presenting comes from just my mom. and loving her. And she was a motivational speaker and life coach and customer service like guru in the area. And so it was cool to kind of to have that. As far as the burning of the sage, I think it came from my days of being literally in a Native American sweat lodge, and all kinds of other things could unpack there. But people were like talking about some heavy emotions. And so I just wanted to clear the air. Plus, you kind of stunk still from that walk, and the smell of the sage.
That's the answer I was looking for.
There's the real reason at that moment.
Oh, I went back and took a shower, one shower. So, but
the rock, I don't know if I was getting disconnected there. My connection is spotty at sometimes here right now, but that rock was about us turning kind of something what was negative into something positive that we could then leave out in a visual space for us. So for me, gratitude was the word that I would always put on that rock and hold on to, because that was the thing that could get me past whatever the other kind of negative baggage I was holding on to. So anyway.
No, it was awesome, dude. And if you haven't spent any time with Joe, the compassion he has for people is a real thing. I mean, literally, the way he pours into people is probably one of the coolest things that I would aspire to do. I don't have the compassion Joe seems to carry around naturally from him for people. I actually caught you guys live. I wish I knew who it was so I could say hello. So, Joe, from your experiences, not just in SCM, but networking and the like, what makes you such a strong networker like you are? Because you really open a lot of doors for people and the like. Where's that come from?
I want to help all ships rise. And I know that when we're bringing literally badasses into our group, that our group is only going to be able to do that. I've always kind of followed kind of the Ken Blanchard model when it comes to business, of like create those gung-ho employees and they'll create those raving fan customers. And then those raving fan customers will in turn bring you the big bucks. And that's kind of how I look at it, even within our networking groups, of like, hey, we're creating these amazing people that are already pretty amazing, but we're just throwing a little bit of extra spice and salt on them. And then they're really, really gung-ho, attracting some really other fellow badasses, and the groups are growing. And so it's been fun to be a part of that. And our leadership team is just amazing. So it's hard to not enjoy a time out to the salty South Coast. So
yeah, I love it. And hey, Kevin, hey, Alexander, except for Rigo, I mean, your leadership team's amazing, excluding Rigo. I mean,
no, I'll push back on that, man. She's like the puppet master of all the other chaos that's going on. So no, we got to support up. So
I will say my favorite thing about her emceeing the event was when she was getting ready to introduce Stevie. She's like out in the other hallway going, and next up is Stevie. And we're like, get your ass in front of the room. She's like, everybody knows what I look like. We're like, go. She was literally back in the other hallway, just announcing over a wall.
That's hilarious.
That was the most interesting
introduction.
Introduction I think I've ever had.
That a girl, Rigo.
So
love it.
So and then at the end of it, Rigo went all out and brought us basically a tour of Fall River. She brought in for dinner. She did Portuguese. There was some Italian. There was I think Jamaican there. I mean, the food was pretty amazing from the different courses and the things alike. And kudos to the bartender for making the signature drink. It was I don't remember what the hell it was called, but it was pretty damn good.
We had plenty of them.
We had several.
Great.
Several. So I would say they worked. So Joe, big things on the horizon for you? Any of the big upcoming things, plans, or things you're working towards?
I'm right now. I'm just kind of gearing up through the end of my year here. On the work side, on the personal side, we're heading to Chicago for Thanksgiving and to see some family, and so looking forward to my kind of town. Chicago is so should be good there and have some fun. So
There you go. Champions
Crush.
Oh.
What part of Chicago, Joe?
Just outside the city. I'd be lying if I actually told you where, because I don't really know. It's on a. I have the address.
You just show up and drive around neighborhoods. So someone says, "Hey, Joe, we're over here."
Yeah, I'm going to my to that and her boyfriend, and so and I'm bringing my little guy out to Chicago who has never been. So
nice.
And I don't even think KB has been. So I've been out there multiple times for work trips, but yeah, the rest of the family has never gone to Chicago. So looking forward to even seeing the Bean and all those things.
That's awesome. And this leads really well into our next segment. So the next segment is favorite vacations, and Keith and I are going to start off with Thanksgiving in Chicago. So you're welcome. So Keith and I, Keith was living in Chicago. I was living in St. Louis.
I live downtown Chicago
on Rush Street, right off Rush Street,
in a condo on the 22nd floor.
And so the whole family flew in. Scott flew in, mom and dad flew in, I flew in to Keith's 1-bedroom apartment to do Thanksgiving dinner. And so Chicago got to meet the Boivin family. Scott would constantly run up to us and ask if anybody had any trash, so he could run.
I had a trash chute at the end of my hallway. And I'm not joking. He went through my golf bag and took all 40 golf balls out of my bag and dropped them one at a time. Because he's like a 3-year-old. So if you blew your nose with a Kleenex, he'd grab it from me and run down the hallway and throw it in the trash thing. I'm like, dude, you're not going to hear a Kleenex bang down the thing.
Keith, so I was a heavy smoker at the time, and they're down 22 flights. There was a butt can. By the pool.
The swimming pool was back there. There's like a cigarette ashtray down there, like a small
just a little tiny butt can. And so we took turns flicking the cigarette butts off, see if we could land them in the can. We then proceeded to throw paper airplanes out 22 stories.
Hundreds of paper airplanes. And we were taping pennies and paper clips to the noses and trying to see them. So when we went downstairs later, the streets and the cars are littered with paper airplanes.
And we won't tell all the story, but one of my favorite ones is after mom and dad went to bed, we're walking down to downtown Chicago on the street. Scott and I, our oldest brother.
The three of us should not be allowed in public anymore.
But Scott and I are on one side of the street, Keith's on the other side of the street. And I said, watch this to Scott. And I yell across to Keith. I'm like, I'm going to kick your fucking ass. Keith yells back, oh, yeah, come on. And now we're yelling across the street and getting a crowd around us.
There's like 30 people watching this go on, like this commotion and everything else. They thought we were going to fight. And then those two charged me
across the street.
And everybody's like freaking out and backing up. And
then we just turned and walked. We won't tell the rest of the stories from there, but
there's other stories. Catch us at a bar one time. We'll tell you about the Christmas lights. We'll tell you about Bo Duke and Luke Duke and other things that shall not be mentioned live.
So what about the rest of you guys? Crazy vacation stories, holiday stories, and the likes?
Oh, Stevie's got one.
She's like, should I or shouldn't I?
Oh, damn.
Like, who's watching this morning?
So what? Jeez. So a bachelorette party in Vegas, and it was great. I don't remember a lot of it, but I'm sure it was great. But one of the things that we all got were little bullet vibrators, keychain versions, and me not thinking, apparently at the time, lots of alcohol was probably involved. I actually added it to my keychain.
Tell me you went through security. Yeah.
So going through airport security, it apparently turned on and was vibrating through my bag. So then this very, very young. I mean, he looked 12. He probably wasn't, but he looked 12. Guy is like, ma'am, I have to check your bag, all this. And I had forgotten. I had no clue what was happening. I was like, I don't know what's in there. So I had like the big sunglasses and a hat because I was so enamored. And so he goes, and the best part is this: he finds it, he turns it off because he knew how, turns it off, puts it back in my bag, and says, "It's okay. Happens here a lot."
Wow.
Wow. Best vacation story I got is that one.
I mean, does it have to go with you on vacation? I mean, that's a thing?
Well, if you get it on vacation, you have to bring it home.
Bring it home. There. Fair.
Oh, you got it. In
Right,
Vegas
right. No,
somewhere.
man.
Oh God. Yeah. It's a good
That's
one.
awesome.
It's a good one.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't top that in any way, shape, or form. I would probably say one of my favorite spots, though. I got to go to Alaska for a work trip one time.
Read Julie's.
Great timing, Julie.
Perfect timing, Julie.
It's their fault. I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna drink my Diet Coke.
Shit. Yeah, I never thought that I would want to go to Alaska for vacation. Being in Michigan, we get plenty of snow out here, but I got to go to Alaska in June, and honestly, it was one of the most beautiful landscapes I've ever been to. Great food, great people out there. Just absolutely amazing. Definitely on my bucket list to go back and actually vacation there.
How many people were walking around with keychains with vibrators on them? Just
I think
all
all of them.
Now I can't wait to go through the airport now and go,
Stevie's
I know what
got
that is.
Steve's got Coke up her nose now.
Oh, why did I share that? I should have just kept my mouth closed with this group.
Joe, any keychain vibrator stories?
Yeah. Sadly, no. But I think the greatest vacation I've ever been on was to St. Lucia. Just so beautiful. So many cool things to see. We went hiking the Pitons, which are their mountains, which are like old volcanoes, or kind of active, I guess. I don't even know. But it was like this the entire way up. You were just like this. The tour guide got paid no matter what. And so he got paid to mess with every single person's mind. So so most of the time people didn't make it up to the top because their tour guide was literally mentally like terrorizing them. Like, oh yeah, you probably shouldn't go any further. Like this might be too hard for you. And like literally mentally messing with people. So our guy was cool. He was like, listen, man, it's very hard, but one by one, we fill the basket. You just take a coconut and we fill the basket. So it was very, very cool. I'm glad we made it to the top. But anyway, life goes on.
No, that's awesome. Probably my favorite one. I mean, Ireland was a blast, but going to Jamaica at the all-inclusive was really cool. And probably one of my favorite parts is friends of ours had said, hey, when you go to Jamaica, take a bunch of 5s and 10s, right? My door open. Friggin' ghost in the house, right? But take a bunch of 5s and 10s, and the first guy that brings you a drink, slip him a 20. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, I'm all in my head. This is what I got to do. So I slipped the first guy a 20, and I have a whole bunch of. Have you heard of ChatGPT 4 yet? Yeah,
that was out of the blue.
Yeah, but I freaking handed the guy a 20. And I swear to Christ, for the rest of the trip, that dude was like the butler off of Mr. Deeds. Freaking anywhere. I never had a glass of Captain Morgan. Yeah, totally sneaky. Right? I never had a glass of Captain Morgan get below halfway before he was running wherever I was. And I don't know how much money that dude made off me, but I slipped him a 5 or a 10 every time. And he found me. I mean, even out on excursions. He'd be like at the beach when I came back with a Captain Morgan waiting for me.
Smart man.
And I was like, dude,
Advice,
I want to go back just to find that guy.
Right.
So, and that's also the place I had the most amazing hand-rolled cigar I've ever had in my life. Little sweet Jamaican lady sitting there rolling just real tobacco leaves. I asked her what the tobacco or what the flavor was. She just kind of looked at me and smiled, and then I realized she didn't speak any English whatsoever, But it was a cool trip. Yes.
So I think my favorite one was when the kids were little. We did a Disney cruise, our one and only Disney cruise, and it was absolutely amazing. We did it over Halloween. So on the day of Halloween, the kids all got dressed up in their costumes. And then they went trick-or-treating around the ship with the captain and all the characters and everything else. So It was a pretty amazing. You paid 2 to 3 times more for the Disney experience, but it's worth every penny.
No, that's pretty cool. I guess are you guys into cruises? It's not something I've done.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
22 of them.
22.
Oh, great. So this time my father can hear the vibrator story. And
That's
that's great. Everybody
Nice.
Hey, Pops.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Gosh,
the Rigos go cruising quite a bit too, and I know they love. They're all about Disney.
I'm impressed with Jen's husband Nelson because they were fixing to go on like this.
Putting up with her.
Well, putting up with her for sure.
Number one.
But they're fixing to go on like this 4 or 5 week excursion from Australia to Hawaii. And they're taking trains, they're taking cruises, all this stuff. And they didn't use a freaking travel agent. Nelson planned it all out.
Wow, good for him.
And Jen was like, he was an engineer, so he's kind of meticulous to detail, and he planned every freaking leg of the way. I'm like, Jesus, I'm gonna hire Nelson next time I need to go on vacation.
Right. Hey, Rigo, do you need someone to come carry your luggage? I'll tag along.
Right. See, I'm almost with Julie. I don't like the idea of being confined to a boat. And I know how much I drink. Drinking like I do and be confined with a boat, I'm not sure I want the outcome of that. So
I think we need to do a badass business cruise.
I'm
down.
I'm afraid I'm going to actually become a pirate. I mean, Bernie already looks the part, so. Too funny. All right, let's do this one.
Uh-oh, stinky.
This is a moment where Stevie and I are supposed to teach.
Wait, what? That's your intro? You just did it on that one?
Yeah.
Oh, you lazy ass. You spent no time on Canva this past week, and it is obvious.
Right. I had to spend time with Joe. I mean, so it ate up all my extra free time. So Stevie, what are we teaching today? I'm putting it on you.
Knows. This is your show, dude. I just show up. Something.
Freaking, well, let's Babs Cruise. See,
I'm telling you, it's the thing. Mm-hmm. It's the thing. Bernie's down. I can tell.
Absolutely down.
So, Stevie, how the hell do you manage all the things? Dude, you run a theater. You do some consulting. You freaking travel all over doing speaking engagements, 80, 90 engagements a year. How the hell do you manage it?
I run on coffee, chaos, and wine.
I don't think those are in the correct order, by the way.
I didn't say that.
I think what it should say is I whine and then I run into chaos.
Yes. But what I like about it is because the wine is last, if I'm having a business meeting, I could get closer to the camera and they don't have to see the wine part.
Wow.
It allows me that flexibility.
Dad says Superwoman.
Superwoman.
There you go. No, I think two things I do think help me get through all of it. Number one, I make a lot of lists. I'm a list person. So every Monday, huge list, everything that has to get done, prioritize the list, do all those things. So number one, list making. Number two, I do, you know how some people talk about like time blocking on their calendar, like block these hours for this. I do day blocking. So I don't do hours. I pick certain days of the week for certain businesses. So that way I can wake up and be like, oh, today I'm working on theater stuff, right? And so even though I may have other business meetings or whatever, any time in between those things will be focused on theater that day because it's theater day, right?
So when you block Donnie out, you block him out for an entire day.
God knows. Yeah.
Yes.
True statement.
Yes.
True statement.
I get a whole day on the calendar.
You do. The summit definitely takes all of that. Yes, that's absolutely true. But yeah, so that's how I keep it straight because I am not good at bouncing from topic to topic. Going from doing this in the morning. And then if the next thing I had to do was social media for theater, I would be all wrong in the head doing that.
Like, so like you are.
Huh?
So like you are.
Yeah, well, yes, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to not post on, I'm not going to post about theater after being on this for an hour. It's not a good switch. So that's one of the things is I make sure that it's when she's running a wine, yes. True. Well, actually, if I'm anywhere near Donnie, there's alcohol involved and the chaos.
Yes, of course.
That sure seems to be a common theme with people, you know.
You notice that about yourself?
I need to get this shirt that says I make people drink. You know,
accurate. Can we please get that on the back of a champion shirt?
But here's the thing. I just show up and drink. You're choosing on your own. I mean,
no, you're not. You turn around and give somebody a drink, or you say, "Hey, I'm drinking. You want to join me?" No, it doesn't happen.
Well, no, my best part is I could go up to Donnie and go, drink. And he goes, here you go.
She did. Like the night she met up with us for dinner and we're going to the summit, she walked up and I just looked at her and said, ooh, drink? She goes, yep.
All you need to know, drink.
A couple of Manhattan came our way.
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, since we don't run all the businesses, one thing that helped me was to shut down all the different businesses, right?
Yeah, for sure.
On one business. And then creating ops days. Like Monday, for the most part, is an operations day for us.
Yep, me too. I don't do any meetings. I don't do any presentations on Monday. Other than this, it's just work on getting shit done.
Right. Yeah. And then Fridays is typically a secondary operational day. So my heavy lifting days are typically Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because that's when the sales calls hits. That's when, client deliverables hit. And the like. So in those days, it's just put your head down and get to freaking work, and then look up on Friday, and we'll see what broke, what needs to be fixed, and the chaos that ensues from there.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also think, and you and I have had this conversation, Donnie, before, but just so many people in life are busy, but they're not productive.
100%.
Right? Like they're doing all the things, but are all those things that actually matter? And I always am like, I ask myself before every single thing, like on my calendar, on my to-do list, like, does this actually make a difference? Because if it doesn't, I don't got time for it. I just don't. And so I think that's another part of it is just making sure that you're really being honest with like, are you doing shit that matters? Or are you just doing shit that you've done for years or that people have told you you're supposed to do? But if it doesn't work for you and it doesn't make you money or make you successful, whatever your life is, like, why are you doing it? So I don't know. I think that's another part.
No, I agree. I put out a post. I'm trying to find it. I put out a post this morning on LinkedIn because that's the summit I talked about, how most people get in this endless loop of doing the same things over and over again. So I actually recorded a video and drew on a whiteboard the actual U. But so I'll find the link and you guys go check that out. But the whole idea is most people are doing things, and in life, when it gets hard, they throw in the towel and go try and do something else. And most people who find success are the ones that when it does get tough, they will put their head down, learn from that moment and continue to move forward. It's just so many people don't want to go through the uncomfortableness that learning often is. We don't like getting punched in the face.
Well, especially as adults, right? I think like we will tell a child all day long, like, you can be a beginner, you will learn, you'll get better with time. Like we tell children that all the time, but it's like as adults, like the first time you do something, you're supposed to be expert level at it. Like you're not allowed to be a beginner, right?
Yes.
And so I think we don't want to be a beginner. So when we're starting to feel like we're struggling, it's just easier to get up and go do something else rather than to actually work through it and become better at it.
And I think subconsciously we're looking for a silver bullet, if you will.
Yes,
we want it to be easy, right? We don't want it to be hard. So we'll literally be like, ooh, this is going to be the thing. And it may not be something like we say out loud, but our mind goes, oh, that's going to be so much easier to do than what I'm currently doing. The next thing you know, we're off on this tangent or tear, and 6 months later we look up and we're in the same damn spot we were because we didn't actually make progress. We just did a lot of movement.
Absolutely.
Somebody asked me at the summit, how do you know which things are the things you should be chasing? and getting after it. And my word comes down to in business is the things that lead to revenue. If it's not producing revenue, then that's the shiny object you shouldn't be chasing.
Yes, Canva, Donnie.
That's why we didn't have transition slides today. Right?
I know, because you did not waste your time with Canva. Good job at ignoring that.
I might be able to grow up someplace, but I'm
let's not.
Probably not.
Highly doubt it.
Probably not. Probably not.
Even our special guest is shaking his head. No, he knows you.
He knows. Joe knows, literally.
No, the next time you take him walking by a body of water.
I love when Donnie just
he loves to do that.
Yeah, he loves pressing those buttons, right? Like while you're pressing your own, Keith. I like
it's
it.
his favorite thing.
Oh my gosh.
Favorite thing.
I was like, Keith's got to be saying something here soon. I'm going to nuke his ass.
Next time you're walking with him next to a body of water, you better shove his ass in.
You better shove his ass in. Amen.
Or you'll never be invited back to this show again.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
I love you and
It's
me.
just terrible.
Oh no, it's amazing. It's amazing. So, what are some of y'all's favorite places to go people watching?
Oh man, I'm gonna go first.
Come on.
So you don't really get to experience this so often anymore with the advent of Amazon and all of this online shopping. But in the heyday of the mall, just go sit in the food court for a couple hours and watch the parents.
And I can't even imagine what it's like in Michigan. It's got to be.
Oh man, Detroit's great. Everybody's on fucking leashes. It's fantastic.
Donnie, did you immediately think?
Yes.
I'm with Julie. My favorite is the airport.
No.
Bar none. The airport, watching people coming and going, people greeting each other or people being like, whatever it is. Like there's so many cool things going on at the airport.
I think the mall is good. Airport is good, but you guys are missing the number one spot to go people watching.
I'm about to break the room really quick. So while at the Champion Summit, it is an art studio with some eclectic art on the wall. And let's just say if it could be on display, it's on display. Stevie's waving me off. She's like, don't say it. There is a particular, and it was Bernie's everybody on leashes that made me think of it. Rigo, get ready. One of the pictures happens to have a gal on a leash, but the leash is attached to, let's just say, inside her pant zipper. And I had the pleasure of actually meeting the artist. She was a really sweet lady, and we talked about the piece, and I'm like, that just seems dangerous to me. And then she went in and explained that it's all about vulnerabilities and the likes. And as she got done explaining it, I'm like, that's beautiful. It still seems dangerous to me. Like, don't walk anywhere.
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor. And she explained it to me. It was actually a really beautiful thing, but Bernie, as soon as you said leash, both Stevie and I went,
oh God, I will never. Yeah, I will. Yeah, that is one of those memories. Like as a speaker, I've spoken in a lot of places around a lot of things that I will never forget. Just Dottie's like, just look to your left and look down.
The fact that,
and then I had to stand there and speak.
The fact that you guys are talking about this so much, one of you guys should have bought it and had it hanging up behind you in your studio.
There's still time. There's still time.
Rigo, I am not putting that on screen.
He's like, nope.
That wouldn't be the worst thing we put on screen.
No, I'm not putting that on screen.
We had a family dinner party Saturday night, and I told the story of that piece of artwork and the jokes that ensued. Yeah, it was good.
It rhymes with Dolores. Remember that was a Seinfeld.
Yes,
thing. Can't remember the girl's name. Yeah. So the best place to go people watching is Walmart.
And
it doesn't matter what town you're in. You go to any Walmart and see the same people.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to incriminate myself on this one, but I'm going to agree with Walmart. But me and my buddies who've grown up and friends for years created a game in Walmart. It's called White Trash Duck Hunter. And what you do is you walk through Walmart, and at the top of your lungs, when you see the classic, just picture perfect people at Walmart, you yell, "Bam, white trash," and then you keep count. And we would go through Walmart.
All you say is "bam."
No, and white trash. You yell, "Bam, white trash!" Oh.
The sad part about it is they were in the bathroom looking at the mirror the whole day.
Way to go, Joe.
Yes,
Who the fuck
sir.
invited this guy?
That's right. Way to step up. I love it.
Oh Lord. My favorite place is still Ren Fairs, man, because you get people. But probably my funniest one was the second Harry Potter movie. We went to the opening night, and it was the midnight showing, like the Thursday before the Friday big showing. They do those premieres, and so everybody's dressed up in Harry Potter costumes. That was the greatest people watching. You had people wearing towels as capes and actual house brooms, but this one dude had the towel, the broom, and a bucket on his head. We don't say why he had the bucket. It completed his Harry Potter outfit. So premieres before movies are a great place for people to watch it.
Yeah.
I like the malls, but
State
anywhere
fairs, county fairs too. Always good. People coming out of the woodworks, man.
2 weekends ago, I went to Comic-Con out here in Providence.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, similar to what Donnie was talking about the Ren Fair, but like you throw in like Marvel or any cartoons or Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, the amount of people watching through there was incredible.
What was your outfit, Joe?
Everyone just nerding.
Yeah, Joe, who'd you go as?
I wore a Superman logo, and I had my glasses on, rocking like a little whatever. But I can't. That was all I could do. That was all I could do. I was like, all right, I just want to be here and experience this. So I got to meet like Apollo Creed and
nice.
Nice.
Wendy Peppercorn from The Sandlot.
Yes.
Like random folks. So it was cool. It was cool.
I love that. That's
a buddy of mine played Raphael in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. Yeah. Stevie knows him as well, Ken. And he's funny. Listen to him talking about and he also did a knockoff Karate Kid movie. I should remember the name of it. Ken Scott's his name. Yeah. But he's one of those fun guys that he'll talk about all the stories from the Comic Cons and all the people that he runs into and meet. He's also my favorite person to say, "Hey, don't talk about the turtle stuff," and then he'll hand you a thing. Do you want me to sign it? It's a picture of him playing Raphael. I bust his chops all the time. He's like, "I'm trying not to lead with that. I'm trying to create another story, but do you want a signed picture?" But pretty much anywhere people are going to gather for any reason, it's a good place to people watch.
Even networking.
Yeah.
Well, the funniest thing is you go to the Badass Business Summit and watch a bunch of those weirdos all in one spot.
Right.
It can get crazy.
Yeah. True statement.
Especially when you get all the massholes together in one table.
Mm.
Because when you go to an event like that, you're supposed to network and meet people, and all the massholes just sit together the entire time. I mean,
because they're massholes.
They're like, nobody's going to talk to us anyway, so we're just going to hang out the rest of the night.
Nobody can understand them,
right?
Like, we gotta go after we park the car. We gotta get some gas.
I don't know what that was, but
exactly.
Thank you for playing. But it looks like we're going to head to Bethesda, Maryland for the next Champion Summit. We're freaking crazy enough to be going in February to Bethesda, Maryland. So I'm
crab cakes, baby, crab cakes.
Gonna die. Actually, my wife has threatened me with my life if we do not go up to Tame Street Oyster House in Baltimore. Literally going through our anniversary pictures. We literally took a picture outside the restaurant. We have so much awesome memories from that place. So that's still one of the best restaurants on the planet.
Is she researching cemeteries you guys can visit as well?
Dude, that was the craziest shit that I've ever. I didn't know how much she was into cemeteries. Like, we walked by one.
She's still surprising you, babe.
Oh, dude. And freaking, but that was the one cool thing about Boston in general was just the history of it. We were in the one graveyard and they were talking about the Boston Massacre. And like when you think of a massacre, right, you think about World War II and all the lives. You think about Vietnam and all the lives. 5 people, right? 5 people were killed in the Boston Massacre. Freaking with it, John Adams was just great at spinning a tale. Now it's still tragic anybody loses their life, don't get me wrong, but 5 people constituted a massacre and started a revolt.
Well, it just proves how far we've come. I mean, how stupid people are now.
Oh, crazy.
We lose 5 people in a mass shooting or something like that. It's like, oh, thank God it was only 5.
Yeah. The other thing was when we went to Salem. You kind of hear about Salem witch trials, but the craziness.
I'm surprised they didn't keep Stevie there.
Steve wasn't down with it.
I wasn't with you. Otherwise, I would have stayed and not come home.
That's why. Yeah.
I would have found my place.
But the thing that was really weird about Salem was, what's the name of the hill where they hung all the witches on? Something, they weren't witches, they were supposed, but it was something like Hangman's Hill or something. I forget what it's called. It's got a really famous name. But the tour guide on the one little thing we went through said, don't worry about finding the Hangman's Hill. It's not called that. But because you won't find it, because they've since taken down the trees and they put a playground over it and they still call it the same thing. So it's like, it's not Hangman's Hill, it's something like that. Right. But the park, the kids park is like, go play in Hangman's Hill freaking playground.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane to me. And the 2 potential places where they buried all the witches, you can't find those either, because one is now a Walgreens and the other one's a CVS. So it's kind of fun that all the witches were accused of apothecary and herbs are now being covered by apothecaries.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So, what do we have coming up this week, guys? Events, workshops, plays?
I just want to celebrate. I've had 5 trips in 5 weeks, and tomorrow is my last one. And I am ready to be home for a while. So I'm celebrating my last travel trip for a whole month. I'm going to Philly tomorrow. I can't wait to be in Philly with my friends, but I'm ready to not have to get on an airplane for a little bit.
That's a lot.
How many miles did you do this year, Stevie?
Ooh.
A lot.
Yeah. I mean, I've done 26 flights.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of flights.
It's like average of one every other week.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, and a lot of those, what's crazy for me is a lot of those, it'll be like 3 trips all in 1 week. It'll be like 3 different destinations. So it counts for like a lot, but it's not every other week. It's like 3 in 1 week and then nothing for 2 weeks. It's crazy.
That's the name of it.
Gallows Hill.
Gallows Hill.
And it's now Gallows Hill Playground.
Nice. Go play at the Gallows. Okay. Yeah. Nice. But yeah, so that's what I'm celebrating this week is my last travel trip. And then I'm going to take a break for a month. I don't have to go anywhere until December, mid-December. So I'm excited for that. That's my goal this week.
Nice. So, well, guys, that's our show this week. Joe, thanks for hanging out with us. Freaking everybody go have a badass, amazing week and stay out of trouble. Love you, mean it. See you, bye.
See you guys.